What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we come with very exciting news for you guys because according to Spanish newspapers, Liverpool are favorites now to sign Saul, the Atletico midfielder, is on Liverpool's transfer list. It's pretty much priority right now, and the deal could be worth around 35-40 million, but it could even rise to 45 million with bonuses and add-ons. So all the details will be packed in this video. So if you are excited about the news that Saul could be a massive signing, the second big signing for Liverpool in this transfer window, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. According to Spanish outlet Sport and other newspapers, Liverpool are reportedly favorites to sign Saul this summer, and they claim that officials believe the deal could cost as much as 43 million pounds with add-ons, and I don't think that's an outrageously high transfer fee because Saul is a very experienced, very versatile center midfielder. He can play as an attacking midfielder, center midfielder, defensive midfielder, even a left-sided midfielder or right-sided midfielder, and Saul will not be available, of course, cheaply this summer because he still has a 4-year contract, but the above report states that it would take a minimum of 35 million pounds to get the deal over the line, which is a fraction of the Spaniards' whopping 150 million euro release clause. And the Marca journalist Ben Feldman thinks or says that Saul could be the perfect replacement to take the place of Wijnaldum, and Feldman thinks that Saul is perfect for Jurgen Klopp's pressing style of play. He can effectively perform duties in the defensive and attacking thirds in the center of the park, and he can score crucial goals as well. Man United have already secured deals for Jadon Sancho and Varane, and Jack Grealish could be heading to Man City. So Liverpool have to act fast to strengthen their squad if they are to seriously challenge the rivals for the Premier League title next season, because if Liverpool don't strengthen, if Liverpool don't make their team better and their squad better, we could finish again third in the Premier League next season. And Fabrizio Romano gave a really important update on the latest goings on at Liverpool, and he said that Liverpool have to resolve the Jordan Henderson issue because it is a real that there is no agreement so far for his new contract. Many clubs, especially abroad, appreciate him and like Jordan Henderson very much. There has been talk of Paris Saint-Germain in France, but the club still hopes, Liverpool still hopes to convince him to renew his contract, while there has been so far no offer for Saul Niguez. But Liverpool are among the English clubs that have inquired about Saul's situation. The player would really love to play in the Premier League. He would appreciate an experience there, and there is no offer because until the swap deal with Griezmann is definitely collapsed, Saul will not fly to England, but his agent reportedly has flown to England already to discuss personal terms with Liverpool and Manchester United. The way things work is usually the agent agrees personal terms with the club for his client, and then the club makes a bid for the player's services to his parent club, and this way, when you agree a transfer fee with another club, the personal terms are already sorted, so you only have to fly in the player for a medical, and then he can sign a new contract, and Bob's your uncle, the deal is done. And the Daily Mirror is reporting that Saul is very keen to get his future sorted in the next 2 weeks. He doesn't want to wait around, and the Premier League starts in 2 weeks, so Saul is very keen to get this deal done with Liverpool until the Premier League starts, and that is potentially a target for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp to aim for. Get this deal done in 2 weeks, and then Saul could be integrated into the Liverpool team and into the Liverpool squad. Liverpool already have a really good midfield, but I think we need another really good midfielder, potentially world-class midfielder like Saul in there, because if Fabinho, Thiago or Henderson, who have been injured at some point last season, get injured, then we have to rely on Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, and yes, those are great players, but Naby and Naby and Ox are injury prone, and Curtis Jones is still pretty young player, and he has been out injured as well last season. So Liverpool have to be very careful. If we don't sign a midfielder, then we might be short in the midfield area, and we don't want to end up in a similar situation than last season, that 3 or 4 of our midfielders get injured. And now that we don't have Wijnaldum, who was like a Duracell bunny, very durable. He played pretty much every game last season for Liverpool in big competitions. We don't have a midfielder like that anymore, so we have to sign Saul Niguez, in my opinion. Rodrigo De Paul from Udinese already went to Atletico Madrid, so Atletico already signed a replacement, and there was a reason for that, because Saul have fallen down the pecking order at Atletico Madrid. He hasn't been starting regularly last season. He was mainly on the bench, getting on as a substitute. So he wants to move on. He doesn't want to sit around and stay on the bench, because also he lost his place in the Spanish national team as a result of not playing regularly for Atletico Madrid. So I think it's the perfect time for Saul to move. It's the perfect time for Liverpool to sign him, and for 40 million or something like that, I think that's a tremendous value for money. And Saul is almost as durable and as injury-free as Wijnaldum, because he played in total 337 games, and I'm looking at his numbers, and he is playing around, on average, 50 games for Atletico Madrid in the past 6 seasons. He played 41 games last season, 47 the season before, then 45, 56, 53, 48 and 35, and that was when Saul was still a teenager and he started breaking into the Atletico Madrid team. But it's going to be tough to get him, because as we said, he has 4 years left on his contract. He also is a boyhood Atletico Madrid youth academy player. Because he lost his place and he's on the bench, he wants to move on, and we don't want to see Saul end up at a club like Chelsea or Manchester United. So come on, Liverpool, let's make it happen. Let's sign Saul. Gabi Agbonlahor, who is now working as a pundit at TalkSport, I just want to share his thoughts, and I will give my opinion as well. He said there is a big danger for Liverpool. Yes, they have brought in a defender who is supposed to be very good, but they are still standing still. Man United have brought in Sancho, Varane. Man City are talking about Jack Grealish, Harry Kane. Chelsea are talking about Lukaku and Erling Haaland. You're not hearing anything from Liverpool. They are standing still. That's very dangerous, because they've got an aging front line who need a bit of help and fresh legs to add competition. Losing Wijnaldum's legs in midfield is a big loss too. For me, they need to do something in the transfer window. Diogo Jota is a very good player, but he was very poor at the Euros, so that shows he's not reliable as well. How can you judge Jota's whole worth on just the poor Euros? Loads of big players had very poor European Championships, and also Jota has been terrific since he signed for Liverpool. He has been absolutely outstanding. Honestly, no complaints with Diogo Jota. He would have scored easily 20-25 goals if he didn't get that serious injury around Christmas time where he was out for 3 months. Yeah, but I agree with the main sentiment that Liverpool have to do something in the transfer window, and I think we will. We will. I honestly think that we will. We are in the process of selling some fringe players as well. For example, Napoli is interested in Divock Origi, but they also face competition from the other clubs, because Wolverhampton Wanderers and Newcastle are also interested in Origi. According to the Mirror, a loan deal is possible, but because Liverpool's asking price is a little bit steep, Liverpool are hoping to get 20 million for Origi, but I think if we get around 15 million, a 15 million bid comes in from Napoli, we should accept it, and we should sign a backup striker in the mold of Diogo Jota, somebody like Ismail Assar. Yes, he would cost probably 35 million, something around that. Origi has really fallen down the pecking order, and it doesn't make any sense for Origi to sit on the bench and to collect his wages, and Liverpool doesn't really get a lot of goals out of him anymore. Maybe Jurgen Klopp hasn't been trusting Origi a lot anymore, so I think it's time for Origi to move on, even though I consider him a Liverpool folklore hero. And there are some people who have linked Locatelli with a Liverpool move, but the reason why I haven't made a transfer news video on that yet is because Fabrizio Romano confirmed that Liverpool are not in the race, and he also quoted Pavel Nedved, the legendary midfielder who is now the vice chairman of Juventus. He said that Juventus are in talks with Sassuolo to sign Locatelli. They are convinced that they made the right bid to reach an agreement. So Pavel Nedved said that Juventus are really confident to complete the deal as soon as possible, and Liverpool are not in the race. That's what Fabrizio Romano said, and I fully trust him. And Jurgen Klopp has been talking about Liverpool's pre-season, and he said that when he was asked how challenging it is to keep a group of players happy for 3 or 4 weeks, this is the longest training camp that Liverpool have been on since Jurgen Klopp has been manager. He said, so in Germany you say I don't want to praise the day before the night. So we are 3 weeks here and it was perfect so far, but there is still a week to go and maybe now they turn nuts or whatever, I don't know. Just love the sense of humor of Jurgen Klopp, he's so brilliant. But so far it was not too challenging, to be honest. We thought a lot about what we can do, what we have to do. We did some things, we had quiz nights, we had some other silly stuff which we did together, and still the big ping pong tournament everybody is waiting for. Probably they trained the whole day for that, so that will come up. We have other stuff organized, interesting things where the boys will get some entertainment and information and hopefully some interesting stuff which will help us for the future. That's what you do. We train a lot and then the boys sleep hopefully at least a lot and get proper food. So far the preseason was really okay. Who would you put your money on for the ping pong tournament? Jurgen Klopp was asked. I forget these things 100%, not on me. I think Mo Salah wins quite regularly, if I'm 100% right, together with Ox last year. You must be lucky with the draw, that's how it is unfortunately. If you're a very good player together with one of the staff, then you have no chance. The boys are pretty much all pretty good. But the good thing about the tournament is you have to carry your partner through the tournament as well. And that was like a proper football answer, the same kind I would have got after a Champions League draw, a journalist said. I would say in the ping pong tournament you need to be even more lucky. If you get the wrong partner, you know with table tennis, it's you shoot, he shoots, you shoot, it's 50% chance the ball flies through the room. That happens quite often. Yeah, it is quite seriously taken by the players. They are winners and they hate losing. It was very serious with the quiz night. The team who lost, the last thing they wanted to do that night was to lose. The difference between football and the quiz night was nobody wanted to be lost. Nobody can tell you who won, but everybody can tell you who lost that night. So that will probably be similar. And it's a challenge for us that many players are coming back at different times of the season. Now the Brazilian guys are back, Alisson, Firmino, and last week it was Shaqiri, Diogo, Robertson, Thiago. Not the same day, but in the same week at least. Came back. Now the Brazilians, I saw them this morning already. I spoke only a few words because they had still holidays, but they had to do the lactate test yesterday because they had to run away anyway. That's how it is. They will start tomorrow with training properly. That's then pretty much we are nearly complete. Henderson will not be here probably until the end. He will get included in England, but that's all planned like this. It's a challenge every year. We work on so many things and then the new boys come and then the next boys come in and you think, okay, by the way, so far we did this and that, so on. In a specific point, we have them all together and prepare for the season, but it's always the same and so normal business. The players who play international football, they never have enough time. That was always like this. This year was the best year though, because they never have enough time. You never have enough time to train and stuff like this. A week, 2 weeks before the season. So the Brazilians now, 2 weeks. I think last year it was 10 days, if I'm 100% right, for the first game. Nobody listens about that. Nobody is interested in that. We just carry on like this. Everybody expects in the end kind of perfect tuned football teams. There will be a moment in the season when that happens, but in the beginning it's pretty much for all teams the same so far. So it's a fair competition. It just means we are all in the same place. We have to make sure we can win football games. We don't have to play the best football in the world. We just have to win football games. And then step by step, finding our way again. And that will happen for sure. But in the beginning, especially for the boys, it's not easy. But that's how it is. The good thing is, in 3 weeks holiday, you don't lose a lot. They don't have 3 weeks no training. I say that every year as well. But after 10 days, They start already with training again, just not football with us. So they are fit, they don't lose a lot, we can use them pretty quickly in the games, and that's why we planned it like this. There's one team who plays the game, and it's maybe more likely, but I don't know yet, for the weekend later. The other team who came a little bit later, then we play the second game. So nobody has 90 minutes in their legs. Then we will play the first game against Norwich, and then we probably have again a pre-season training program on Sunday at Kirkby, just to try to give them, the players, all the chance to get some rhythm. So that will be the preparation for Liverpool going into the Norwich game, and I'm super excited for that game, so let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, see you later, goodbye.